Bob-omb Battlefield is one of the most iconic 3D Mario levels of all time. Being that it was the first level in the first 3D Mario game, it was imperative that it taught the player very well how to use the controls and interact with their environment. All of this was done effectively thanks to the placement of enemies, the wide open terrain, and the large summit that you are able to scale up, both in terms of a race with Koopa the Quick and the boss fight against Big Bob-omb. Wamp's Fortress is one of the most vertically based levels in the entire game, being a large stone stronghold. The bottom of the level is a grassy field, however, the higher up you scale, you have smaller ledges that you are able to stay on, and falling off will likely ensure that you die or lose a lot of damage. This level would even make a future appearance in Super Mario Galaxy 2 as a little cameo level. Jolly Roger Bay is a slightly ominous and creepy water level with some very peaceful and soothing music. It is home to a vast, dilapidated lake with a sunken ship at the bottom, which is home to one of the power stars. When that ship is not there though, be prepared to swim against a current in order to get a star or have to chase a star off of the tail of an eel. There is also a cave off to the side that holds another power star where you have to open up chests in a very specific order. Cool Mountain is a snowy peak with some very slippery slopes, which even features the ability to race a gigantic penguin, which is just so fun. Make sure you don't cheat on that race against the penguin though, because it may not let you get the star. This level gives you ample opportunities to be a good Samaritan, whether it be returning a snowman's head to its base or returning a small penguin to its mother. Big Boo's Haunt is the mandatory spooky level in a Mario game, this time around with lots of boos for you to track down, eventually leading to a boss fight against the Big Boo in the lobby of the mansion. The stars in this level are generally more puzzle oriented and also take you to the basement with a very creepy carnival-esque design for one of these stars. And be mentally ready for the boss fight against Big Boo on the top of the house, where the star will spawn on top of the roof, where you have to do some tricky maneuvering in order to get it. Hazy Maze Cave is an underground labyrinth with a design so complex that it even comes with a map at the beginning of the level. The route that you go at the beginning of the level could take you to various different rooms. One could be a large lake with an island in the middle with a lovely little creature called Dory that you are able to ride around. However, another path may lead you to a room with a floating platform where you have to use very finicky controls in order to get a red coin. This level is also where you are able to unlock the metal cap, which allows Mario to walk underwater and through tight currents. Lethal Lava Land is a platforming course with some incredibly tight platforms over, well, lava. Much of this is a very rhythmically designed level where platforms will shift in and out of accessibility, where you have to very carefully maneuver around and make sure that you time your jumps very well. Multiple of the stars both involve you knocking bullies into lava in order to get the star, and jumping into a volcano where you have to carefully navigate around the insides of it in order to reach the top and once again get to various different stars. Shifting Sandland is a desert level that contains quicksand, obstacles, and a gigantic pyramid with a slow burn platforming course inside. Platforming around this level will require you to be a little bit more creative, using things such as whirlwinds or gigantic pillars in order to carefully get your way around. One of these stars will even require you fighting this incredibly creepy looking hand boss called Rock. Dire Docks is an underwater level with two main chambers connected by a very long tunnel. Generally speaking, the first section that you spawn in involves a massive current that you have to navigate around, whether it be in order to go through certain rings or open up chests in a correct order. And the other chamber will have you boarding Bowser's ship for the first star or riding on very slow moving poles for another 8 red coin mission. Snowman's Land is a windy and icy wonderland of a snow course. It gives you the ability to go inside of an igloo for 8 red coins, as well as going all the way up to the top of a snowman for a star. However, be careful for the gust of breath that it is going to use to get you off of its head, and it is somewhat difficult to avoid. Also, you fight an icy rendition of the bully here too. Wet Dry World is another water-based level, but this time with a puzzle-solving twist where you are able to determine the height of the water in the level, both by entering into it as well as these various different icons that appear throughout the stage. The final 2 stars take place in this incredibly creepy looking town area that is below the main area that you have to use a cannon in order to even access. Tall Mountain takes you up a steep mountainside with some very tight and precise platforming. While going up the mountain, you may do various things such as catching a monkey in order to get a star, or riding down a much more difficult slide compared to the one from Cool Mountain. mountain. Just make sure you keep an eye out for the vast amount of boulders that are heading your way while you're escalating up to the summit. Tiny Huge Island is another level that implements a very interesting gimmick where one half of the level is a gigantic version of itself, whereas the other one is a much smaller version, with these being interchangeable based on the pipes that are placed throughout the level. Going to the very core of this level allows you to fight Wiggler as well in this incredibly bizarrely shaped cage match. Tik Tok Clock is not only the influence behind one of my favorite Mario Kart tracks of all time, but in this case it is a level as well in Super Mario 64. Make sure you are mindful of the specific time that is shown whenever you jump into the level, as it will determine the tick speed, aka the speed at which everything in the level moves along, which could severely impact the difficulty of whichever mission it is you are playing. This level is known for its immense difficulty and sometimes very bizarre camera angles that it will induce, so definitely be mindful as you are jumping up the vast amount of clock-based obstacles. Rainbow Ride is a sky-high, rainbow course where you ride magical carpets very slowly. These take you to some very mystical locations though, such as a flying house or a gigantic airship. Or you could take the other path and go through an arduous platforming course or wall jumping course in order to get a red coin. Overall, both this and Tik Tok Clock are known as two of the hardest 3D Mario levels that the series has offered us thus far. So, all of that was every Super Mario 64 level summarized in less than 7 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, as that is the best way to support the channel. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, peace out.